Thank you everyone for attending, and it's a pleasure to be here with you all. Also want to thank Hack Seasons and Abu Dhabi Finance Week, ADGM team for bringing this community together and hosting one of the most well-organized and high-caliber financial events in the world. Being here today makes me think back to where this all truly began. Before BurjX went live and before we assembled our team here in the UAE, it all started in a very different setting. So about 3 years ago, my co-founder Adam and I were visiting the UAE for New Year's. And we noticed something was shifting here. I still remember having that coffee with Adam during our trip. And I turned to him and I asked, do you think it's possible to launch a crypto exchange here in the UAE? A homegrown one, built from scratch. Think we could survive all the regulatory hurdles? And do you think we can even raise the money? Adam didn't mince words. He just replied with one word: absolutely. And coming from of someone of his caliber, a Harvard, JD, and MBA, former Goldman Sachs, that one word carried weight. So we shook on it. The name came shortly after. We kept coming back to the word Burj, a reflection of the UAE's posture. Building with permanence and intention, and we paired it with X for execution. That's how BurjX was born, rooted in this region. But having is easy when the wind's at your back. The real test comes when the storm hits and you have to keep going anyway. And so throughout this journey, we ran out of money more than 3 times. Hit rock bottom more times than I can count. And faced nights where we genuinely thought this might not make it to tomorrow. But having built in regulated markets before, we understood something very important. When you're building credible financial infrastructure, the journey is never a straight line. It's a stress test of discipline, resilience, and staying power. So in 2018, I co-founded NDAX, Canada's leading crypto exchange. We started with $1 million from friends and family going up against giants that were backed by firms like Fidelity. We weren't supposed to win, but we kept showing up. We fought for a banking partner when no bank in Canada wanted to touch crypto. We worked with regulators before regulation existed. And we answered support tickets at 2 a.m. Now, through it all, we focused on one simple recipe: building trust. Brick by brick, we built something real. And by some miracle, NDAX became Canada's largest crypto exchange, processing over $20 billion in volume, serving more than 500,000 Canadians, and managing over $1 billion in assets under custody. But that outcome, it was just a byproduct of our efforts. It was the journey that taught me 3 core lessons when the odds are stacked against you. That trust is the only real currency in this industry. That teams win wars, not founders. And sometimes the next chapter requires a new arena. These are the lessons you don't learn in a classroom, and so I stepped away. Incredibly proud of what we built at NDAX, but I knew deep down my next chapter had to be written somewhere else. And this time it had to be even bolder. It had to be here in a region I've always felt deeply connected to. Because the Middle East doesn't just need another copy-paste model exchange from another region. It deserves its own category leader, homegrown, built in the UAE. But the conviction to build BurjX didn't come from NDAX alone. It came from something deeper. So I was born and raised in Canada, but my roots are Lebanese. And if you're from Lebanon, you remember the stories of Beirut, the Paris of the Middle East. A place where people once trusted their money, their banks, and their future. Until one collapse after another erased it all. Savings gone, a currency in free fall, generations left holding paper that used to mean something. Now, what's remarkable about Lebanon is that the people never give up. No matter how deep the collapse, the will to rebuild never dies. That's the mindset that has shaped me today. It taught me what it means to build when everything around you is falling apart. It taught me the value of trust, and it made me appreciate what I saw when I came to the UAE. Real momentum, real clarity, credible regulation, and a leadership determined to get it right. Abu Dhabi especially was becoming something different, not just a financial hub, but the capital of capital. And so I made the leap. I sold my house in Canada, sold my stake in NDAX, uprooted my family, and left behind everything familiar, and landed here with no license, no team, and no product. Just a belief that the Middle East deserves its own category leader. The chance to build something real under the world's leading financial regulator was a decision worth risking everything for. And once the where question was answered, the next question became how. How do you build a digital asset trading and custody platform worthy of this region, one that's homegrown and could stand shoulder to shoulder with the most trusted financial institutions globally? On July 15th, 2025, that belief became real. BurjX is now a UAE-born, UAE-regulated digital asset brokerage and custodian licensed by the FSRA of Abu Dhabi Global Market, the world's first regulator to create a comprehensive virtual asset framework. A global benchmark, and one of the reasons the UAE is now leading in digital finance. BurjX became the first UAE-born platform that was approved by the FSRA to list more than 100 digital assets at launch, a major milestone for this region. It's a signal that innovation and regulation are finally moving together. Now, through BurjX, investors gain access to the sectors shaping the next decade: AI, gaming, real-world assets, stablecoins, all within one secure, regulated ecosystem. Every layer was built to institutional standards. A robust custody infrastructure powered by Fireblocks, a NASDAQ-grade trade engine capable of handling 1 million transactions per second, direct AED on and off ramps via Zanbank, enabling you to connect your UAE bank account directly from our app and instantly move from dirhams to digital assets. No middlemen, no friction. And most importantly, a user experience that combines institutional depth with retail simplicity. Whether you're buying Bitcoin for the first time or managing an institutional desk, we've built this for you. One powerful app, one trusted platform, built here, regulated here, and powered by a team right here in the UAE. But for high net worth investors, family offices, and institutions who demand even more, we've launched the BurjX Private Client Group, a white glove OTC desk with deep liquidity, personalized execution, and true relationship coverage, helping you build a high conviction, diversified portfolio with the clarity of private wealth, the control of institutional grade execution, and the confidence of a platform made for sophisticated investors. And to bring this all to life, we've assembled an elite team of builders based right here in the UAE. People who've built and scaled regulated crypto before, people who operate with the urgency, the care, and the obsession of founders. They took a bold vision and they brought it to life. A product we're proud to put in your hands today. But we're not stopping there. This is only the foundation. The next chapter for BurjX is about expanding regulated access even further. through regulated staking, Sharia compliant portfolio management, and crypto as a service solution, empowering businesses across the region to integrate digital assets safely within a UAE licensed framework. Because the mission has always been bigger than a trading platform. We are building the rails that will power the next decade of digital finance in the Middle East. To the investors, the family offices, and decision makers in this room, I'll leave you with this. This industry doesn't need more hype. It needs infrastructure that's built to last, transparent, regulated, and worthy of trust. That's what we set out to build with BurjX, a category leader built for the MENA market. Our focus is on building the infrastructure layer that allows real capital to flow safely into this asset class for decades to come. Because the next chapter of this industry, the era of trust, regulation, and real capital won't be written in the West. It's being written right here in the UAE. Thank you very much.